Hello, welcome to MOTUesday. This is Phil, a Kiwi in Japan. Welcome to Treasures for Trigger. We are up to episode number 8 for MOTUesdays. Very, very exciting. We took a week off last week, but we are back bigger than ever. So before we bring on our guests, let's bring on our awesome co-host. We've got the man with the X Factor, Zazel the Thunder from Down Under Punch. Zazel, how are you, buddy?
Yeehaw! I could not possibly be any better. Today, we are going to be talking about some Wild West action, and I couldn't think of a better person to do it than my good partner in crime, Philator.
Hey, awesome stuff. And we've also got our man, the man of many talents, man Adam Arms, who I believe has got a newly pressed passport as well.
It's on them. It's on the mail. It's coming in. We've got a confirmation. Yeah. We had a little scare here in Canada, a little passport workers strike. So Joe Fest was in jeopardy for a couple minutes, but then I called up Sergeant Slaughter. This is a real thing. And I said, can you just call Canada and tell them to get their act together? 48 hours later, passports are being processed. So I don't know what he did, but he did something.
Brilliant.
We don't ask questions. We just accept that good things have happened.
We just accept it, exactly.
He'll do anything for cookies.
He'll do anything for cookies. That's another endearing thing that I respect and try to model myself after Sarge.
Very nice. All right, what a legend Sarge is. Okay, guys, so you've been good. We haven't had a stream for a couple of weeks. We've been busy.
Yeah. No car accidents. Things are coming.
Nice. Right. I will give myself a shameless plug. It's kind of MOTU related. I released a video to do with the Undertaker from the WWE Superstars line, which has the same body construction as Masters of the Universe. So if you haven't seen that yet, go and check it out. I'll be less depressed if I can get a couple of views on it.
And I would say, your streams and all your stuff is great. But videos like the Undertaker video and the Funko Pop Sarge video, where you're just you bear your heart out in these videos about toys, which is crazy. I'm in. Like I watched that Undertaker video about 4 times. I'm like, this is great. It just I think when you let down the wall and be a little transparent, you really get some quality stuff happening there. So that's where you shine, buddy. You just kill it.
Cheers, mate. And Phil, good job on your video that you did with the Optimus Prime.
The big Optimus Prime. The big red Optimus Prime. Yeah.
It wasn't Leader One.
Every robot's named Optimus, right?
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun day out. So had a good premiere of that on Sunday night my time, and it was fun to watch that with everyone else. So good stuff. Well, we've got a lot of people in the chat. So I think before we address the chat, I think we should bring on our legendary guest for the episode tonight. So I'm very, very excited to bring on tonight's guest. He ticks all the boxes. He's a really good guy. He's larger than life, and he is a huge MOTU fan as well. He's got up at the crack of dawn to join us for MOTUesday this evening or this morning, wherever you are. So let's bring on our guest tonight, Mr. Shabby Geek. Wake up.
Good morning.
How are you, Shabby?
Hi, fellas. Are you all right?
Good, my friend. Great to see you. Thanks for taking on the invitation to join us on MOTUesday, mate. It's really good to have you on.
I got your message and we're chatting away. Oh yeah, Shine. I thought, oh, this is awesome. I'd love to come over. You went, great. See you at 6:30. Oh, what the France?
Well, it's only payback.
Beard Bro on the show.
Yeah, that's right. We've got another Beard Bro. Yeah. Well, this is just payback, Shabby, because when I was on your stream, I think it was about 6 o'clock in the morning for me. So I knew I had to get one back on you. So thanks for being a good sport.
First of all, I was thinking about New Zealand and Australia, and I'm like, oh no, it'll be all right because it won't be that time. But I realised Japan's just around the corner. So I thought, that'd be the same time.
That's the one.
The beautiful thing about MOTUesday, the MOTUesday show, other than like the epic legends and the great co-hosts, is that it exists as both a morning show, like Good Morning America, and a Saturday Night Live kind of evening show, depending on where you are. This is like the Jimmy Kimmel of Australia and the Regis Philbin of North America.
Brilliant.
And I think it's Tuesday for all of us, so we're all on the same day at least. It is actually MOTUesday for us all. I think New Zealand might be the only country, ironically, where it's already Wednesday, but
right.
we won't bother about them. They're small fries.
Oh my goodness! All the Kiwis just log off.
Yeah, our internet automatically shuts down at midnight. We don't have internet from midnight to 6 in the morning. All right, so let's say good day to the chat. There are a lot of people here already, which is great. So we had in nice and early this morning was Joe Recondo. Good to see you, buddy. He was a nice and early. Some guy called the Sergeant Slaughterhouse. Shabby pulling double duty. In nice and early as well, Shabby. We've got Jason O'Toole. G'day, my fellow Motu fans. Good to see you, Jason.
Everyone gets a finger bang.
We've got the Retro Tinker. Good to see you, mate.
What a legend that guy is.
Oh, here we go. Keep on collecting. Hey, looking forward to this. Just kick the missus off the TV. There we go. There's Dedicated. It's a risky move.
Just all over the place.
Looks like you've got to keep on collecting cap on there, Shabby. You're representing. There we go. All right. So I don't know if it's Matt or Andrew, but yeah, good to see you guys.
I want to get a keep on collecting hat that says supporter of big supporter of keep on collecting or big keep on collecting supporter, right? But I want it, but keep on collecting might be a bit too big for the hat. So we'll make it KOC. So that way it'll be big cock supporter or big fan of cock or whatever it'll, just to
dear.
We're a morning show.
I apologize for Zazel's antics. Yeah.
It's a strong tea.
Matthew Comstock is here. Kia ora, Matthew. Always great to see you, buddy. About to head out to work, but I'll be listening in the car. Drive safely, my friend. Yeah, all right. We've got Ed5. G'day, mate. Good to see you.
Ed5 standing by.
Yep, we had a good stream with him on Anzac Day. That was a ripper.
Yeah, that was a really good stream.
Yep, it was a beauty.
I want a prize. I haven't gone yet.
Yeah. Has it arrived at your place yet, Zazel? Or did you want to go there? Oh, you got to go there. That's So
you can't just say this, you've got this next name here on the screen, Phil. You can't just read it. You have to express it. If you're a Star Trek fan, you know what I'm getting at here.
I'm not a Star Trek fan, so I've got no idea what you're talking about.
In that case, I'll do it.
Comic Cons podcast.
Adam, you do it.
I was just saying, let's do a Comic Cons podcast.
That's it. Yeah, correct. That's what I was getting at.
I thought you were referring to the Yoop part. I've got no idea.
No,
I can't help you with the Yoop problem.
Fail.
In the news group that I run, there's a girl who comes out.
Classified, chat champion.
There she is, classified.
We've got a MOTUesday alumni here. We've got Racing 80s Toys. Good to see you, Chris.
I wore this shirt just so I was hoping that he'd check me out in it. It's a little bit chef. It's a little bit Western, depending on how I wear it.
Here we go.
You're the trail cook.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, speaking of chasing 80s toys, we've got Scuba. Scuba's in the house. G'day, Scuba. Thanks for getting up, buddy.
Look at everybody's here.
Yeah, we've got Dom. G'day, Dom. Good to see you, my friend. Hey-oh.
He's about to hit the shower.
Miss Eddie's here. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening.
And good night.
You got a lot of fans here, Shabby. Jewel Who 9. Good to see you, Jewel. Hi, everyone. Scrolling on down. I think that's everyone. There's a lot of highs and interaction in the chat. So brilliant. If I've missed you, I apologize. We've got Toombs. I remember Toombs from another previous. I think he was here last time as well. And this is your bro, right, Shabby?
Yeah, that's our say. I am
Fandanga. Here we go. Yeah, howdy partners. I love. Does he know Japanese? Because in the chats he always introduces himself with a bit of Japanese, which is quite nice for me.
He's an artist for a living. I don't know whether you've seen his work or not, and he's always been influenced by Japan. He's a big fan, so he loves everything. So every time he writes, well, he told me yesterday you were the first. You read it and went, "Howdy partners," and he was blown away. He couldn't believe it. So
brilliant, nice. Yeah. And Scotty Crush is in the house too. G'day, Scott. Good to see you, my friend.
I need that hat.
Nice.
I need that hat.
Yeah. Cool. So speaking of your brother, Shabby, I guess this is a nice little segue. You and your brother were both big Motu fans growing up, or you more than your brother? Or?
No, it was me and my oldest brother, really. There was 4 boys my mum had, and we were lucky because we never really collected one thing on our own. What she'd do is she'd buy me He-Man, then my brother would get Skeletor, then my other brother would get Man Attack. So we always had a collection of 4 or 5 before we even got into a collection, if you will. And I always remember He-Man because my first one was Battle Cat and He-Man. And we'd always been playing with Star Wars. And all of a sudden this big guy comes along and it was, everyone goes on about the power sword, but to me it was always the axe. I loved his axe. I thought his axe was a big shield. And I remember we were at a time where Conan the Barbarian was big and that kind of thing. And all of a sudden this barbarian comes in toy form. So we were made up. I loved He-Man as a kid.
Brilliant. Yeah. So would you say, in terms of your pecking order, would Star Wars be your number one in terms of toy collecting, or?
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars for a while, and I've been a toy collector all my life, and it was all Star Wars. I think for all of us, really, that it went with the films and the cartoons and the comics and everything else. So, and then He-Man came along. And we had the cartoon, obviously, and I think that's what it was when we were kids. You clung onto something where you had a few media outlets for it. It wasn't just the toy. Right. You know what I mean? You had the cartoons, you had the comics, you had that. But He-Man was definitely my second, and it always has been. Yeah, it's fantastic. But I tend to die off it. But it wasn't as big as Star Wars, with vehicle-wise and everything else. It had a big thing then. But 2019, when Origins came out, I mean, that changed my whole life. That did. I was so happy.
Yeah. So I've watched a lot of your videos where you're opening up the Origin stuff. So you've obviously got a very healthy Origins collection there in the background.
I always, I'm up to date. I've got practically, I think I'm only missing about 3 or 4 from the whole line. That's it.
There we go.
Wow.
I'm a big Black Series collector. And Black Series was getting harder and harder to get hold of. Then the prices were getting astronomical. And I figured it'd been out 6 months, and then people asking for $80, $90 for it on the secondary, and I'm like, it's been out 6 months, And I think to me, Origins came at the perfect time. I mean, so it came. I remember watching the Toy Fair, and I saw them at Toy Fair, and I thought, because unlike the Star Wars Retro Collection and the new Indiana Jones Retro Collection, what Masters of the Universe had done is they've taken the figures we loved and just upgraded that figure. So, and to me, it just blew me away. These were the figures we would have loved as a kid, the vibrancy of the colors, the articulation. So, and then my youngest daughter, I asked her if she'd like to start collecting and so forth. So she's made every Motu video with me for the past 3 years. So it's been cool.
Yeah, so you've passed it on to the next generation. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think there was that. We're all toy collectors, and I don't know whether you have children or not, but there are certain things in a collection where your kids will come in, like your vintage Star Wars, for example, and you're like, don't touch it. But with Masters, you have with them being $16, $17, and they look and made to be played with. That's why they were all open and put on the shelves here, so the kids will just take them off, they'll come on the desk, they'll play with them, put them back. I have no issue with that. So
nice, beautiful. Yeah. Adam, your kids are into the Motu stuff too, right? Maybe not the Origins, the Masterverse stuff.
So they're into it all. They both have vintage collections that I gave them just to play with before Origins came out. So my daughter had a Crystal Palace in her room, all full of all the Princess of Power stuff, and my son's got a Gray Skull. And then my son has now become a bit of a collector himself, so he has a display in his room, like a cabinet, and he's got a bunch of Masterverse figures in there. So he's He's hitting pretty hard, and yeah, they just love the lore. And I think this goes back to what you were saying, like doing things with your daughter. We live in a culture now where the cell phones are really babysitters and the toys for the kids. We were waiting in line yesterday at the passport office, and there was a lady, and it was funny because she had her baby in her hand and she was holding a phone like this, and the baby was watching the phone, and she was just sitting there waiting. And it was quite a funny sight to see. But I always got on the floor and play with my kids all through their childhood. Yeah. And you do that, and you raise kids that like toys like we do. Like you raise toy kids. And I think that's the difference. You don't see that very often now. So you see the toy aisle dominated by brands that we loved as kids, but they're not really for the toys aren't for kids anymore, which is sad. No. So I've always been like, play on the floor and play with your kids.
A lot of people say, "Oh, kids don't really play with toys anymore," but I've always had the assumption if you brought out the right toy, they would. It's hard to sit there watching, for example, The Mandalorian and saying to your 8-year-old, "Oh, don't worry, I've pre-ordered it for you. In July, you'll be able to."
Right. yeah, that's true.
We all as kids. Oh, guess what? My dad got me today. He got me Darth Vader. When did you get it? January. Oh, fantastic! Can't wait. With these MOTU Origins, it's a bit different because you can find them and they are accessible, and it's the price as well. And I think it's one of those toy lines that is specifically a toy. Black Series, we always have that thing with thing. Well, it's an adult collector's, even though it's in a children's aisle, it's an adult collector's. But MOTU Origins or Vintage Masters, kids can play with them whenever they want.
I just want to touch on the articulation comment from earlier. Is that I don't honestly believe that articulation mattered that much to us as kids. I think that's a later thing that we've sort of gravitated towards because we've gotten so much over the years. When I was a kid, it was the action figures like Spider-Man that would have extra articulation because that was his character. And it'd be like, with bonus, how many points of articulation. It was like, oh, cool, he can do Spider-Man stuff. But for Origins, the articulation is great now because we expect it now. But then I didn't care. Like Star Wars did this, and that was it. And that's all I cared about. That was fine. That was enough for me. Masters of the Universe did, barely that. They did this. And that was enough for me. And but I think now, we do have articulation like these guys do, we have sacrifices that have been made, and those sacrifices are that they don't have that twist gimmick. They don't have the correct, the things that made them special back then. They're great for adult collectors, but it's missed. It's a missed opportunity to think that they are an improvement, as opposed to just a way to look back and remember the things they had.
Everyone turns around and says, "Oh, when you were kids, you never had the Lego Millennium Falcon," but we did. We did.
We built it.
Up here, we built it, and there the Falcon full of red, blue, and yellow bricks. But it was the Falcon.
Correct.
I understand what you're saying.
I think the great thing about Origins too is the price point. So you're not scared to bust them out of the packet when they're at that price. Some of the other figure lines, like even the Black Series, is quite expensive, right? And compared to Origins,
I've got over 400 Black Series here. I mean, my room is covered in them, and I completed the red and black box line, and I was happy with that and moved on. I'd gone to Target with G-Force and Scuba Pete. They'd come down for a visit, and we'd gone there. G-Force had made a video on his channel in the morning, and what G-Force does is he does these gauntlet runs where he shows everybody what's in the stores. Well, he said to me, "Shabby, they've got the Mudhorn Mandalorian in it. It's the deluxe one. It came with the Mandalorian, basically figures we've already had, and it's full of mud. With tax in America, that was over $40. And it was the first time in my whole collecting life I thought, I've been robbed here. But I didn't like that feeling of, if I don't buy it now, I'm either A, never going to see it again, or B, I'm going to buy it on the secondary market for a lot. And that I don't like, as toys, I don't like that feeling. I do like the feeling of, even if a Masters Universe has gone up a little bit, you're only looking at $20 and you get comics, you get accessories, you can take the arms, legs off, that kind of thing, make your own figures. And
the problem with the secondary market now, though, is that it's an instant thing. Like if there is something out the shops today, someone is going to go, and it's a wanted figure, someone is going to go out there and pick them all up and inflate the price today. It is not a year from now. It is not 2 years from now. There is a figure that you can hopefully find at retail, but you won't because everyone else has grabbed them, and the price is already 2 or 3 times as much.
That happened in Canada with Origins when our first wave that we got, because we didn't get the He-Man and Skeletor wave, because that was in the States, we got the Stairglow wave.
Right.
And so guys went out and just scalped all the Stairglows. So for a while, Stairglow Origins in Canada was like $75, $75, and then you're like, but this was meant to replace the figure we couldn't afford to get in the vintage line. And now we're almost there anyway. I want to say I was at the Toys R Us yesterday just checking it out, and the Playmates reissue of the Ninja Turtles is brilliant. It's the exact reproduction. They're $12 in Canadian, and that's the line to buy for your kids right now. You just get them. They're cheaper than the towards your kid.
I mean, I apologise. We have coyotes around. My dog's going mental at the coyotes.
The dog's waking up. Good morning to the doggy.
The kids have got to school, and so. Well, you're exactly right. One of the nicest things, or a positive side to these Origins, is you can mix them in with your vintage, and that's one of the coolest things in the world. Just simply because one of them's not got the articulation, that it's flawless the way I've got them all mixed in down here, and it's flawless the way they all look together. So you can make when you're looking for things like a Rio Blast or a Cyclone that hasn't come out yet, your vintage ones you've got, they just look perfect with it, and it's a great line to collect. It really is.
Yeah, I agree.
And Shabby, your daughter Lucy is getting a few comments in the chat. She's a bit of a star of your channel. So I've got to say I'm a big fan of Shabby Geek channel, and Lucy is just such a hilarious co-presenter with you. And I think I've got a 7-year-old daughter, and I can kind of see her. She's sort of a Lucy in the making, I think. So she obviously loves it and enjoys being in front of the camera.
Out of all my 4 children, she's the one who loves toys. She's like an old man. She's got that toy bug, and she'll sit down, she'll watch all the shows and watch the thing. And then we're fans of Pixel Dan, as I think we all are. I think you watch Pixel Dan, and he shows the latest and greatest. And he went to the toy fair and showed these MOTU Origins, and the Castle Grayskull was there, the Prince Adam, and that, and we just thought this is going to be all. And it wasn't me pushing her. I'm one of those dads that's not going to push my kids. She said, "When you get some of them, can I have some?" I said, "Well, why don't you make a video with me?" And she's stuck by me ever since. But what she does is she does what we all do. She won't just open the figure up, and she'll research it and see what the year was it came out and what the original used to look like and that kind of thing. So
she's teaching you everything you know, Shabby. She's the expert.
The expert Lucy. Yeah. Well,
and then you've got your wife behind the camera too, right? It's a whole family affair.
No, it's my oldest daughter behind the camera.
Oh, it's your daughter. Sorry. Okay.
And my wife has made a few videos with me, but that's just a piss take, if you will, because she's not interested in any of it. So I kind of like her attitude, the way she's like completely bored of everything that I show.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So everyone, you make sure you go and check out Shabby's channel. It's a great laugh. It's very, very, very funny, and some great reviews of good toys as well. So fully recommended.
Cheers.
So it's a wee ripper. Yeah. All right. So Shabby, what we like to do with all of our guests is to show them what Adam has put together for them. So it's now that time of the evening. Everyone's favorite part, I think, is to reveal what Shabby's Youniverse figure is. So
Youniverse. The Youniverse. If you don't know what a Youniverse figure is, you don't watch the show.
There we go. We've got a few subs for you, Shabby. That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
That's brilliant. All right, so let's bring it up.
Can I give a preamble before you bring it up? I just want to before the review.
Yes.
I wanted to say the information I was given was that Shabby really likes Rio Blast. End of statement.
That was basically it. Yeah.
We get some guests are like, here's the incredible detailed backstory of my character. Other guys are like, I like to wear pants, not shorts. And then Chevy got I like Rio Blast, and then Phil's like he also likes He-Man and Man at Arms, but really he likes Rio Blast. So I was like, okay, what are we gonna do with that? And so I thought, well, how did he become Rio Blast? Because he's pretty like robotic. There's not a lot going on human-wise there anymore. He's got like holes in his chest and whatnot. So I thought, what was Rio Blast before he was Rio Blast?
Ooh.
And so that's what I came up with.
All right. Are you ready? Are you ready, Shabby?
I can't wait.
Buddy? Okay, let's bring it up. Here we go. Boom.
No
Masters
way.
of the Universe.
Let me just put my glasses on a sec so I can read that.
Here we go.
Read it
All
out,
right.
Bill.
Sorry?
Read it out.
Read it out. Okay. I was going to get Adam to explain it.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
So first off, we had to pick our parts. And so I thought, what was Rio Blast before he was Rio Blast? So my mind says he was like an Eternian gladiator. There was an arena gladiator kind of system there. And so he was mortally wounded in a battle. And so to save his life, kind of like the $6 million man, they had to turn him into Rio Blast. And then it was, He-Man's mom, because she was from Earth, that kind of gave him the cowboy look and told him about the cowboys. And he became the sheriff of Eternia there, where there's no other cowboys, but that's where it came from. So we can see here, this is him in his gladiator days. And so we just gave him the basic human buck, so just a regular He-Man body. And then we gave him some gladiatory weapons and armor. So he's got Trapjaw's belt and man-at-arms leg and shoulder armor, kind of like a gladiator would have. And we gave him Triclops' sword. And then we put it all together. And so he was Blastor before he was reanimated invulnerable organism. So the Rio was the name of the machine that rejuvenated him. So he became Rio Blast. As
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. It was worth getting up for, mate. It was worth getting up for. That is brilliant. That is so cool. I've just always liked it. It's like Burt Reynolds in the Masters of the Universe, isn't it? It's just superb, I think he's incredible. Oh man, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
So cool.
He was a really divisive figure because in a world of Conan, essentially Conan the Barbarian for kids, which is what He-Man was. Like, let's be straight, and we loved it. They're like, here's a cowboy. Like, have a cowboy right in the middle of it. Here is like a straight up, unapologetic cowboy, and you're like, either you were a cowboy fan and you loved it, or you were like, this doesn't fit. It's one of those two things. And for me, big fan.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's what it was. I mean, they did ninjas in Masters of the Universe. They ended up doing Transformers in Masters of the Universe. They put everything in it, didn't they? They threw the kitchen sink at it. So
they even put rocks.
Yeah,
Look
exactly.
at this comment. This is one of the best comments I think we've ever had, Adam. I'm going to have to start collecting Masters of the Universe. So we have got someone on board with Motu now, thanks to our Masters of the Universe. Here we go. That is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
So cool. So cool.
Yeah. So, Shabby, because you're going to be at Joe Fest, my friend.
Right.
I'm actually going to make this figure for you. And then
no way, are you?
And then at Joe Fest, we're going to give it to you. All right, buddy? Because this one looks like a whole
brilliant. Oh, man, this is awesome. This is awesome. Also, my electric bill needs paying. If you can bring money for that.
Here we go.
Thank you so much. Wow.
I like a man that goes to the well. Just how deep does this thing go?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we're getting a lot of great comments in the chat about this figure, guys. So that's awesome stuff. Reminds me of my Dallas Cowboys. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the blue. Yeah.
Jason owns the Dallas Cowboys?
Nice. I need cash out, James.
Toffee blue. Is that a football reference, is it? Is that Everton?
Yeah, man. I don't. Yeah, it's.
Is that your team?
Yeah.
Is he stirring you up? Is he stirring you up?
Yeah, he's stirring me because we're doing. It looks like we're going down. So.
Oh, there we go. Oh dear.
Yeah.
There we are.
Rio Blast was the bro of Chuck Norris, but unfortunately, on a drunk night out, he was ravaged by Beastman who tore chunks of his ass, hence hypnotic from his. Oh my god! Okay.
Oh Lord!
I should have read that before.
Origin story I did not go with.
Ed Bart's been drinking again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder why they didn't make that figure. I don't know.
That got dark real quick.
Oh, sorry, Zazel.
I was just going to say, I want to give a shout out to Adam from Go Figure, who does this every single MOTUesday. So if you haven't already subscribed to Adam from Go Figure, if you haven't already subscribed to Adam from Go Figure, please hit that link and please do.
It's absolutely amazing. And I will be making a video on it. You do know that, me and Toy Expert Lucy will be making a video on it after Joe Fest, so definitely.
Awesome.
Maybe I should make Lisa a figure too.
Look at all you buttes going to Joe Fest. Oh God, what a party! Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll video call you while I'm inebriated, Phil.
You're gonna take a card.
Adam pulling my hair back.
That's right.
Oh, I won't miss that part of it. I must say, I won't miss the
longest I've ever driven to be a DD.
I appreciate it.
Just an awesome figure, man. So I think that's the 9th, if I'm correct. That's the 9th figure in the collection now. So it's building up very, very nicely.
Yeah, because we did 2 on the Merman episode.
That's the one. Yeah.
And we did 2 for Toy Polois. It's actually the 10th.
Yeah, true.
Here we go. Okay, double figures.
Wait, didn't we do 2 on yours as well, Adam? On the first episode, we had
I did Wintor and then his play set.
Oh, yeah. Go back and watch all the episodes, guys.
Hey, good to see you, buddy. Yeah. Yep, Adam, you are on another level, buddy. Awesome stuff. Yep.
Yeah, I thought when you were telling me about it, I thought it was just going to be a sketch, and there you go, look at that. And I was like, this is unbelievable, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
If we can,
that picture though, mate, because what I'd like to do is when I have the figure, I'd like to frame that picture and put it behind it. Do you see what I mean? So you'll have to send me that.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you carded.
Oh, what? The France, really?
Here we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't feel around here.
Adam doesn't do anything half-assed. He uses his whole ass.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Oh, it's made my day, that.
Well, I'm being selfish. I just really want to make this figure. I think of all the MOTUesday figures, this one may be like my favorite. Seamlessly fits into the old line. That's whenever I do customs, because you see guys that'll do like customs, like this is Jason Voorhees as a Masters of the Universe figure, and like this is Poppin' Fresh as a mine. For me, they all need to fit seamlessly in to the vintage line. That's what if someone looks at my collection and says, "Oh, I don't remember him," that's for me a win because it's not so off script that it doesn't fit in.
Right.
Yeah, and I have these conversations with the lads, and I've said it a couple of times in my videos about the gimmicks of Masters Universe. Now, the new MOTU Origins isn't really bringing them out, and it's never really concerned me because as a grown collector, I'm not sitting, you know what I mean? They're sitting on my shelf, and that's roughly it. There are a couple of ones that we've had that should have had the gimmick. Mechaneck, for example, should have had because his neck's a little bit too thick. But another one I think definitely needs him if they ever brought it out would be him, because of the blasters in his thighs and the thing, it'd be hard to make him without that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to go on record and I'm going to say this. And if Mattel's listening, I'm giving you permission. If Origins makes a Rio Blast, they have permission to take my version of Rio Blast and make him.
Yeah. I don't need it. I've already got one. I don't need it. You see, I've already got it.
No, I did a restoration of a Rio Blast video a while ago, and I gave him a much different backpack.
Yeah.
I'll be subscribed after this, 100%.
Brilliant, awesome stuff. Okay, so from our man who's going to be a new MOTU collector, he asks the question: how do we tell the difference between the vintage stuff and the re-releases, the new MOTU figures?
Smell.
Can I punch it out and show him if that's all right?
Yeah, the yellow tinge. Yeah.
Hold on. I'll show you. I've got a version of one figure that's I've got more or less the same of. So let's
I mean, essentially, it's the articulation, isn't it? That's one of the key ones. The extra articulation in the joints.
Comic-Con, the vintage toys are 30% more fun.
Right, so we've got Origins Man at Arms right there, and we've got Vintage Man at Arms right there. So the only difference is, if you can see, they more or less look exactly the same. Is that this one's a little bit lighter in the color and has more as the articulation, whereas this one, it's the swivel that's up here. But as you can see, this is what's the best thing about this line. There's barely any difference at all, which is superb. So there you go. So Vintage. Oh no.
Origins. Oh, you got confused too.
There we go.
Yeah.
See, I thought the Origins Man at Arms came with the Mo.
There's two versions. This one, I've got them both. When you got the Palace Guard, it came with the head without the mustache. So I thought I can have two. So I've got two Origins now, and I took the head off that one, put it on. So I've got the one with the mustache and without the mustache. So.
Oh, nice.
Tell you what, Comic-Con, if you pick up a Man at Arms action figure and you're not sure if it's vintage, try and move the wrist. If the wrist breaks off, you've got no articulation there and you've broken your toy. But if it swivels, then it's definitely one of the newer ones.
Yeah, if you break the wrist, congratulations, you bought it.
Yeah, it's yours. Yeah, it's yours forever. G'day, VTR. Good to see you.
The vintage do fall over. I do too. That's how vintage I am.
They don't always fall over. I have a whole cascading collection back here of non-falling over.
Good God. I hope Canada isn't earthquake prone, Adam.
We haven't had one since I've been alive.
You're due then. You're due. No.
Overdue.
Yeah, it's coming.
Do you put them on figure stands, or they're just free? They're just standing on their own.
They're all just freestanding.
Freestanding. There we go. You're a brave man.
If they have the weak leg bands, right? So you got to change the leg bands out. Mm-hmm. And so I've gotten inept at that, but I figured it out.
Hey, before we push on, I want to show off a little. It's Western themed. It's action figure themed. It's not really Masters of the Universe themed, but it is an epic action figure given to me by Adam from Go Figure. It is Brave Star. He's got the bravest of the stars right there. But I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to give you a 360. Can you tell which parts are 3D printed and which parts are not 3D printed? Can you tell? Hello, ladies.
You're not 3D printed, are you, Zazel?
No, if I was, I'd be in way better condition.
But I can't tell at all, buddy. I
can't either. I need help.
Is his armor, because his armor looks very light blue. Is his armor? What is it? Is it his armor?
Yeah. So actually, his hat, his armor, and his gun are all stuff that I designed. His gun, yeah.
I would have put money on that. That wasn't 3D printed. You're a genius, Adam.
One of my favorites as well as a kid. That Fort Curium playset for that. Oh man, we still have parts of it in England, but it was one of the greatest playsets ever. So,
I've got a question. Does he normally have spurs?
No, those are just what his boots look like that. Because
we should make 3D printed spurs to go into those little slots there. Let's do it. Go figure. Spurs.
All right. When you come to Canada, we'll spur them up.
Yeah, I'll do the hard work.
Brilliant.
I'll mess it up 10 times before you do it.
What? Beautiful.
We've got a few Brave Star fans there.
Thanks, Adam.
Nope. Hey, buddy, a guy who loves Westerns and toys as much as you needs to have a Brave Star in his collection. Come on. Yeah. And once I cracked the code of that, so Brave Star was why I started my channel. I was like, there's more Brave Stars than there's hats out there, so we got to fix this problem. So I started, go figure. Once I cracked the code of how to make his armor and his hat and his gun, all of a sudden you can get like naked Brave Stars for $5 and have them complete. So I got this. I started accumulating this massive collection of Brave Stars, and I was like, well, I got to start sharing the wealth around here.
It's a ripper.
I'll take a naked Brave Star.
Yeah.
$5, bargain.
Yeah.
So speaking of, this is perfect Zazel, you're a genius. This is a perfect segue.
I knew it the whole time. Oh!
So I thought what we would do is have a bit more of a deeper dive, a bit of a closer look at where Rio Blast has come from, because Shabby has said that Rio Blast is your favorite figure, right, Shabby?
Yeah.
And he is an amazing figure. Actually, not one that I ever had as a kid, because it was a later wave figure, and I actually had no idea Rio Blast was a thing until I was an adult collector a couple of years ago. So it's been interesting having a look at this information and learning about, where Rio Blast came from and what his sort of backstory is. So he's a Wave 6 figure. So, getting towards the end of the vintage line. And all of this information that I've stolen comes from the Battle Ram blog. That's the name of it, Zazel? Battle Ram
blog. Yeah, it's a great blog. Check it out.
Yeah,
I highly recommend it. I'm not sure who runs that blog. It might be Ram Man, because it's called Battle Ram is a different thing. Don't worry about me. I do know a little bit about Masters of the Universe. Anyway, it's a really great website. Do go check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, you pointed me towards it as well. It is really awesome. And so there is a lot of stuff on there about Rio Blast. And Adam, you're obviously a big Brave Star fan as well.
Yep.
I don't know if Brave Star actually came out in New Zealand or not. I have zero recollection of Brave Star as a kid.
Really?
Did you remember? Did you have it in Australia, Zazel?
I remember watching it on VHS. If it was on, because I lived in the Northern Territory, where we have red dirt, we have sticks, we've got 2 channels, and if you're allowed to watch cartoons, then you're lucky. Otherwise, it was cricket all the bloody time. So if it was on TV, I missed it. So any other Aussies there that if they were on TV, maybe on Agro's Cartoon Connection? Oh, we had Hey It's Saturday. That was a cartoon for a while before it was a later show. But long answer short, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
maybe
man. Okay. Yeah. So, how about you, Shabby? In the UK,
Massive. I was a huge tech site.
Okay.
I also loved, and I don't know whether any of you lads know, the new Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers. I loved the Galaxy Rangers, Space Cowboys, and they had the part where you could take the guns out of the holsters, and you'd flick the back, and they were white and blue. I think the main guy with the blonde hair was called Goose. He had those white horses. And there was only a limited toy line, and they're very, very expensive now to get hold of. But
they're super cool.
They're super cool. You're right, my friend. Maybe it's the age. I'm 47. I was born in 75, so I grew up with all the westerns, and then obviously I loved Burt Reynolds, that kind of thing. The Trans Am, and everything was very cowboy influenced. So when they brought it into toys, I was hooked. Brave Star, Rio Blast, Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers. I loved all that stuff.
Here we go. Here's another legend. Hello, Heather. Good to see you.
That's my lovely wife. We often talk about how I had toys and she had sticks.
Sticks are good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I have a theory about Brave Star and Rio Blast. So Brave Star came out in '85, and they jumped the gun, right? So they released the toys for Christmas. They wanted to beat the Christmas rush, and so the toys were out before the cartoon came out. So that first Christmas, they didn't sell well because nobody knew what they were. Mattel thought they would just sell on their own, and then by the time the cartoon came out, the stores had lost interest in the way. So that's why it never got a second run and a second wave. It just kind of like fell flat. It was awesome toys and an awesome show that had very little crossover. So that came out in '85, and then Rio Blast hits the shelves in '87. So I think that Mattel had developed a character named Rio Blast, a robotic, as a second Marshall in the Marshall Brave Star line. And then when the line was scrapped, they just took that concept and put it over into Masters of the Universe.
Oh, okay. All right. Because, he does seem such a out of place, like a completely different type of character from everyone else in Motu, right? Like completely left field sort of stuff.
But would fit perfectly in the Brave Star world. Like it would not even be a question. It'd be like, oh yeah, that's that. People often think that he's the Mrs. Scuba Pete. He's the galactic marshal of Eternia. He's just Bravestar's like buddy. They're just not in the same show. But I think it was at least a character design that was brought up for Bravestar, and then they said, no, we're not going to do that. And the guy said, well, I've designed it. Let's just put it in Masters of the Universe. They have everything.
Yeah. Bravestar was the same as Sectars those as well. It was there were bigger figures, and so the price was a little bit more expensive. And you know what it was all like. When you have your Joes and you have your Star Wars, and towards it was Action Force, you'd all play with them all together. All the vehicles will be together. You know, you don't just do one day, everything gets mixed in. And I think with Sectars and Bravestar, you know, the size of them, it was hard to incorporate them in with other toys. Do you see what I mean? And like I said, I remember talking to my mum, and it was pricey. Because if you remember the Fort Curium, you could buy it all together, or you could just buy sections of it if you could, because of the price point, you know? So, that's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, so this is the initial sort of concept or designs for it says here a figure called Fire Power Man. And it was going to be a villain, going to be a baddie. So you can kind of obviously see how it connects with Rio Blast a lot there with his accessories and his weaponry there. He looks really cool. It'd be awesome if they kind of bring this guy out.
He needs a bad guy.
Yeah. He looks awesome. So that's obviously they I don't know why they would have canned this idea. Too hard to tool or to make, or I'm not too sure, but hopefully he gets a bit of a release at some point.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, would be.
So there he is. His release in the vintage line. So you got this as a figure, Shabby, back in the day.
Yeah, it's funny.
Me
and my twin brother do these toy tub videos where we have these tubs. We've made 2 at the moment, and it's all stuff that we had as kids. And they were upstairs, and my twin brother had the plumbers in, and he'd gone upstairs to the loft because he needed to move some stuff for the plumbers, and found these old tubs. And in these old tubs we found dozens of Star Wars, and Bravestar was in there, and was my original Rio Blast. I mean, it had no parts, whatever, but there it was. But Scuba Pete had heard me on the stream say, how much he meant to me and sent me the original one, which was in mint condition. So
I'll bring you up.
It was just such a cool toy. I mean, look at that for a head. It looks like everybody's dad. You know what I mean? I don't know, the bell bottoms with the cowboy boots. You just couldn't get any better. And so
mustache rides for everyone.
I know, he's just such a cool figure. So I just felt it. Yeah.
I love that this was the era where there was an art of the figure you're showing it there, Phil, on the package. That didn't come till this wave.
Right. Yeah. Very, very cool. So we've got a few other slides. He's got a fact file. It's a little bit too hard to read. We'll skip that. But here he is in all his glory. The information here says, he looks quite different, obviously, from the other figures in the line. Such a different sculpt. And they obviously put a lot of effort into making this guy here. So did you have Rio Blast Zazel when you were younger, or?
No, I didn't see him. I was aware of the character, but I never saw one. But I would have loved it. Absolutely loved it as a kid. Being a big fan of Westerns. John Wayne. Clint Eastwood. Yeah. Marty McFly. All of those cool Westerns.
You would have been all over it.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I don't remember ever seeing it, no.
It's funny when you go back to that card and you saw the print on the front of the card, like you just said. I think the only time Mattel do it now is on Mattel Creations ones. See where they put, because here's the new Skeletor from Mattel Creations, and there it is. It's the only time they ever put the art back on the front of the card, like so.
Yeah, looks cool though.
Yeah, really.
What one is that? Oh, that's the Skeletor, the new one. Oh, okay.
So what happens is on your standard ones, like so, you're not going to get an art on the front of it. You see, so what they did was on your creation ones that you have to get specifically from Mattel, they put the art on the front. Like that. So awesome.
Nice, very, very cool. All right, yeah, he's just such a unique. And look at them all. Have you got the? I've got a Rio Blast as well, but he doesn't have that sort of part at the front that covers his eyes.
Yeah, right there.
You've got. So it's a complete figure then.
Yeah, this part right here on the top that actually disconnects from that, but. Yeah, Pete said he found it in Joe Fest. I couldn't believe it, and then he sent it to me. So yeah, it's a complete one.
Yeah, that's cool.
Absolutely beautiful.
So,
awesome.
And that's what we were saying before. Motu Origins. It's funny when people talk about repacks and repaints. Well, in Motu Origins, Motu Masters Universe Vintage. That's all it ever was. They all looked more or less the same, just different colors. Yeah. So when he came along, and like I said, completely new sculpt from anybody else you'd seen. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's just the way he looks. He doesn't look like, as we've discussed, any other Motu character, so he was just superb.
Here's a question: Rio Blast versus Rambo's Gripper. Who would win a fight?
Rio Blast. It's MOTUesday. MOTU wins on MOTUesday.
I want to say that the best cowboys were always the quickest and the best shots, right? Like they were like, I don't think with Rio Blast it matters because there's so much firepower coming out of him. It doesn't matter if he's aiming away; he's going to hit something.
He's also going to have epic arthritis too. Hey Phil, can you just take it back one more? I want to make a comment.
Sure thing, buddy.
Doesn't that chest cannon look like a big slab of cerium?
It sure does. It sure does.
Oh yeah,
makes me think of that every single time. Looks like cerium.
Yep.
Now that's worth its weight in gold.
Most people would say Shabby's favorite figure would be Squeeze. You like a good hug, do you, Shabby?
Yeah, I'm a big softie for that.
Hey, buddy.
Brendan, good to see you, my man. Thanks for dropping by. Good to see you. So this is the wee mini comic that came with Rio Blast back in the day. So again, this looks completely new to me. I've seen a lot of the vintage mini comic covers, obviously, but this one is again looks quite different.
I see a project from Adam there. If he could make He-Man's battle armor.
It looks like he's dressing up as Bret the Hitman Hart.
He does a little.
Yeah, he's got the shades. Yeah. Awesome. I was seeing double here, but I just thought that was an awesome piece of art. So I decided to put it on the thumbnail.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely awesome.
And he's got a mace in that picture. Would be impossible for him to hold on the vintage toy.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Imagine holding it like that.
Yeah.
So cool. I think the only downside for me about Rio Blast is I just do not have the nostalgic connection with him. So I guess it's an interesting point. Like if someone would ask me, would I want a very basic figure like Stratos or a Rio Blast? I think I would still go for a Stratos. I think just simply because I've got those sort of childhood connections with it. I know if I looked at it objectively, Rio Blast is far superior as a toy with lots of different features and stuff, but just lacks that nostalgia for me.
I completely agree. That's exactly. Say to people that don't know Masters, and you'll say things like He-Man, even if you didn't collect it as kids, you know who He-Man was, so you have that nostalgic connection to it. But say Rio Blast, and you didn't have him as a kid, there is no connection. So no, I understand completely.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So
did they talk about the appearance in She-Ra and the Princess?
The blog does, and that was the one part that I didn't sort of steal and put onto the into my PDF. So do you want to? G'day, Oz. Good to see you.
It wasn't Rio Blast that appeared. It was the original concept art guy, the Blastoid or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
And he appeared as that guy, but he appeared as a Horde logo on his chest. So I think by the time they were marketing this and they were kind of doing that, they put him into the Princess of Power line. Yeah. And then by the time he got to development, he turned into a cowboy. So I think that might have been here's our figure, and the Brave Star people were like, well, we got this idea, and they kind of combined these ideas, I think.
Shabby, your brother's saying that Ed.8 from 1992 looked a bit like Rio Blast. he had the porn star moustache going or something.
Ed.8, you know, so.
Hey, can Aussie's here? Can he tell us who did the Battle Ram blog? Because we found out he had him on his show. So if you know the guy's name, yeah, thanks, Pains.
Oh yeah,
exactly that.
That's the question.
That's the question. Thanks, Pains.
Get
him some caffeine and get us an answer.
Yeah, we should try and get him on the show at some point. That would be
it's only fair. We're stealing his pictures. Full credit. Full credit.
We'll just make sure we don't show him this particular episode.
Yeah.
We'll keep it under wraps.
Yeah, watch episodes 1, 3, and 7.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Rio Blast came out, as I said before. He came out in Wave 6. So here's me thinking that Wave 6 was very late in the show, and I just had this impression that Wave 6 was a very small wave with only a handful of figures, but it's absolutely massive. It's one of the biggest waves that they produced. So
diversity is in Extendar, and obviously the rock guys at the bottom, Snouts back, you couldn't put water in it. It was a real, you know, unlike all the waves, this one had everything everywhere. You know, it was superb.
So
I
want to say, looking at this wave, right there, I think they were saying like, we got nice, we're going to try ideas out here. But if you as a kid saw all these and could have one, the answer is clearly Rio Blast, because the elephant guy, well, he's an elephant.
It's an elephant guy.
This is the only He-Man figure they gave without a sword, which is where he gets his power from. So
that's the best He-Man.
There he goes. But as far as the He-Man goes, that one's ouchy. Now Stone Dar and Rock On, I'm nostalgic for them and they're cool, but really as a kid, you're gonna play with it's a rock, like it just turns into a rock, like that's a bit hard. That's a bit hard to play. And Extendar, he always looked otherworldly to me. He didn't look like a flesh and bones person. So
it's a weird figure because he's right here, and it is a strange one. That, do you know what I mean? It's like,
right.
You see him. Whoa! Oh.
That'll give you nightmares.
Funny. If you look at the Masters of the Universe movie, there's those pillars in the Castle Grayskull, and their faces look exactly like Extendar's face.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
Right. But looking at it, I'm like, if you could take one home, it's got to be Rio Blast. He's the one.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. Rio, out of the good guys, yeah, he is by far the standout. I think Flying Fist He-Man, he's definitely the weakest out of all of the He-Mans that they released. He's got nothing on. Obviously, Battle Armor, OG, you know, the original, and Zazel's favorite as well. So, yeah.
Thunder Punch.
Pow.
Yeah.
Thunder Punch would kick Flying Fist He-Man's ass, I think.
No, he'd punch it. He'd punch his ass. Okay. Yeah. It's a thunder kick. So I do distinctly remember seeing Snout Spout and the two Rock Lords. Sorry, I mean Stone Dar and Rock On. So I do know that this wave was out and about while I was still collecting Masters of the Universe, but never did I see Rio Blast.
No. Jason, so this is a good point. So I think he's right. Only 2 of these have been released in Origin so far. So Snout Spout and Flying Fists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 easiest ones to do. Yeah.
Well, I think everything else is so much like new tooling, right? Like, and I think that's what, for me with Extendar, he was a human, didn't feel like a He-Man figure. His limbs were bigger. He was kind of like Leech, right? Where it doesn't really fit the buck.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But the thing is, I think the 3 figures here that excluding Rio Blast, they have been on the back of the Easter egg cards. You know, you see the card at the back, and it'll show characters that are coming in. All 3 of them, the Rock guys and Extendar, have been on it. So fingers crossed that we get them.
Yeah, I hope so.
No, not at all. There we go. It had to be said.
Yeah, it's been said that people don't like extender at the beginning, but he eventually grows on you.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
I once said the word to my wife, extender, and she just started laughing. So I thought, well, I better not show her again.
Extender reminds me of the cop from Real Ghostbusters.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He had the weirdest accessory too. It was like a red square shield that could open.
Yeah, it was a shield that transformed into a shield.
What?
Yeah.
I love this comment. A couple of stoners at the bottom.
Yeah.
There we go.
Also, and this is a thing in a world where it's barbarian warfare. Stone Door and Rock On are from a pacifist society. Like when they were on the She-Ra episodes, it was like, we don't fight. We're very pacifist. And I was like, well, what fun is that to play with as a kid?
Look at this. We're educating so many Motu figures I didn't know existed. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Good to see you, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. Jeffy.
Zazel, I feel bad that I keep covering your face, buddy. I'm happy to go downstairs.
No, I put myself down here for a reason. You got to keep the handsome men up above.
All right. I guess you are the thunder from down under, I guess.
That's right. I got to stay down under.
But I will say, with the inclusion of a chromed power sword, Flying Fist He-Man goes from bottom of the pile to like at least mid-range. Like,
yeah.
Like imagine if the Chrome Marfie had a chrome power sword, it would have changed everything. But they gave
nice Origins kept the chrome as well on it, which was, you've heard from so many other companies. No, we can't do chrome back anymore. No, we can't. And yet they've been doing it. And the only thing they made the battle armor one, which wasn't. But then when the battlefield one came out with battle cat, all that stuff, that chrome on that thing was just super, and they kept it. So that meant a lot to I think those 80s kids. Seeing that, because naming something that wasn't chrome when we were kids, practically everything was.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just picked up on the weekend this Hordak, the Hurricane Hordak, and that chrome.
Yeah.
Like, look how great that looks, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's still in good nick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was crazy. So I was very excited to get that guy.
Yeah. I saw your Instagram post, Adam. So you left with 2 now, right? Two remaining.
Yeah, and then we're there.
Then we're there. Can you remind us so we can keep our eyes out for you? Who the last 2 are?
Well, I need the other Hordak, the Buzzsaw Hordak, where his chest opens up, and then I need a multi-bot. So those
right.
Those
all
are
right.
the two.
Anyone in the chat, if you're listening, let's hook Adam up.
I challenge that, Adam. I don't think that given your talents that you'll ever be done with Motu.
Well,
yeah.
I just keep adding to the line.
Exactly.
Yeah, I gotta add Blastor to the line for sure. A couple of those.
Oh yeah.
So, and I wanted to
shiny. That's right.
Yeah, no, it was
so shiny.
It was.
And so, guys,
this was
sorry. Are we in agreement then that Rio Blast is by far the standout here amongst these dudes?
I'm saying so. Yes. Just I don't want Shabby to leave in anger. Just
keep the guests happy. Yeah, that's the one.
I agree.
He's just cool, isn't he? He's just cool. So
yeah.
And then we've got the bad dude. So we've got Terraclaw's Skeletor. I've got this guy in Origins. He's a freaky looking dude. He's just weird. Like, I don't know. It's like he's got big puppets on his hands or something. Something not quite right about Terraclaw's Skeletor.
Although he makes a great goalkeeper. He makes a great
That's a lethal high five, though.
Yeah.
So
that's the one.
Again, no Havoc staff for Terraclaw's Skeletor, which was weird. And he's got that really hard to find dragon accessory that goes on his fist, which is just super weird. I don't remember. Like, I had him as a kid. I don't remember ever playing with it as like, oh, here's a weapon. I was like, what is this nonsense? Like, it's weird. And they've got the perfect art for that Terraclaw Skeletor because his claw is covering his midriff. Yeah. And if they would have extended that armor down to his belt, he would have been 1,000% more digestible.
He's going to look like one of the kids from Fame.
He dances like it too.
Yeah. That's right.
Skeletor really likes to have those little critters hanging off his back, huh?
Yeah, he does.
He does. Yeah. And then, of course, we've got the Snake Men. These, I think, along with Rio Blast, this is the other highlight, I think, of this wave. So King Hiss, Rattler, and Tongue Lasher. Absolute rippers, I reckon.
I love all the Snake Men.
Tongue Lasher would be my favorite out of the three. I love his colors and the tongue gimmick.
I just got the new Origins one, and it's really vibrant. Yeah, and me and Lucy just did a video on it. But again, the tongue, you just stick it in now, take it out.
Yeah.
Take it in, you know.
Right. You can't sort of. Yeah.
I love all the Snake Men, but these first three, I remember. We lived in a very, very small town in Northern Ontario. Gaz, and we would go to Thunder Bay, which is our big city metropolis that we go to that had a store in it, and specifically, you'd always go and look at MOTU figures and say, "Oh, what one do I want to get?" I remember being like, "When I get there, I want to see King Hiss. I want to get King Hiss." It was one of the first figures where I was like, "This is the one I'm hunting for. I need to get it." I thought the whole shedding skin thing was incredible. So these first three Snake Men for me, chef kiss.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to show Gaz my Western style shirt. He's a big Western fan.
Can I bring you up on silent, Hazel?
Oh, okay.
Just for you, Gaz.
That's you, Gaz. And look, like John Wayne, I can fold it down like a John Wayne, although it's not as cool as John Wayne's one. Or I can be a chef. Either one. But the buttons have stars on them.
Can you completely unbutton, Zazel? Can you?
No, that's not how these shirts work. I can take all of this off, but you don't want me to.
Look at that. Gaz is loving it. There we go.
Who isn't?
Yeah. Okay, that's enough of me. Stop it. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
We're great with a MOTU morning show or evening show. That's like, hey, look at Zazel's shirt. This other man.
My favorite would be Tongue Lasher is not bad if you want to have a frog for your Snake Man. But I like King Hiss. I mean, obviously the picture of King Hiss is better than the reality of King Hiss. But what I like about King Hiss though is that the design of him is, even though it's like a pretender, like the Transformers pretender, the good thing about it is that it's both a good guy and a bad guy. Like he's a good guy until he's the bad guy. Mm-hmm. And the very definition of King Hiss was that his human form was to sort of give a false sense of like a friend or an ally, and then someone like He-Man or Man-at-Arms would come up close thinking that it's an ally before revealing his true self in King Hiss, in his Hiss form.
Right.
Probably shouldn't wear the big snake on the front though. That kind of gives it away. But
I remember as a kid when I got him, he tricked He-Man for a long time. It was a long, long time of like, oh, I'm a friend of yours. I'm a friend.
Like real life.
A tragic story here from the Retro Tinker. Rattler ended up in a local rubbish dump.
I'll help you go looking for it, mate.
Yeah.
Road trip. I'll come help you dig.
Now, I think because I'm so close to completing the line, I'm going to have to start looking for the variants as well. So I'll be looking for a redneck Rattler. And I think Georgia is the place to find a redneck Rattler.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Too true.
States, huh?
Can I just be excused for 1 second? My dog is there, and I don't know whether you can hear it. He's whining. I'll be 1 second. I do apologize.
Bring the doggy on.
All right, so what do you guys really think of Shabby?
He's not too shabby.
Oh, there we go.
High five.
Hey.
Brilliant.
I don't know what Ed5's been drinking tonight, but he's bringing out the calls this evening.
Yeah, Tongue Lasher. I had a girlfriend that was named Tongue Lasher. No, wait, she was named Snake. Never mind.
And after this show, we're going to go into therapy sessions with Zazel.
This is the best therapy.
All right. no, this is great. No, I was saying to my wife though, when I picked this guy up, and I said, like, I'm down to the 2 that I need. Like then what do I do? Right? And then we're like, can't buy Motu figures anymore.
Well, while on the topic of Rare Blast, do we think that he does or does not need a hat? Is that an omission that they should have worked into the gimmick?
I think here's my thing. I think if they would have given him a cowboy hat, that he would have been clearly an Earth-based cowboy. Him not having a hat, first off, it allows his gimmick to work. A hat would have ruined the gimmick, but it also gives him a little bit of like extraterrestrial look.
I don't know. It's very obvious. How can you ruin that hair? You can't ruin hair.
That's why we don't wear hats.
Yeah.
Here's the rest of Retro's story. So there was a mouse plague, and they got into the toy chest, and Dad got rid of the lot because we won't play with them anymore anyway. Oh,
nightmare.
Gutted.
Yeah.
Mrs. Go Figure. Historical that snakes are bad. I'm surprised they were ever fooled. There we go.
A snake's never really that bad, though. You know, I heard a story. It's a Bible story, but I heard it told by Ricky Gervais, where a great comedian, and he's saying that Adam and Eve got these terrible punishments for eating the apple, and the punishment for the snake was that he will slither on his belly for the rest of his days. It's like, he was doing that anyway. That's not really much of a punishment. Right? Unless he had legs back then. I don't know.
There's a theory. There's a theory that he had legs, and that curse got rid of his legs. I don't want to get into like deep, ridiculous theological controversies, but there is a theory out there that snakes used to have legs, and then that they don't now.
What do we think about legless lizards, though? Moving on. Sorry, Phil.
No, we're divided on the hat opinion about Rare Blast. So Gaz is saying yes, definitely needs a hat.
I'm with Gaz.
Ed5 is saying no hat needed.
I'm with Ed.
Everyone, yeah.
I do think a missed opportunity on both Mattel's Real Blast and mine in going back and saying, if you would have had a laser lasso, that would have been dynamite.
Oh, yes.
Oh. Get this man on the Mattel team already.
Yeah. Come on.
I mean, I'm right here.
You're right there. All right, so I'm out of this lot. I'm saying Tongue Lash is my favorite. Shabby, if you're taking one of these home.
Tongue Lash, it's just the colours. I mean, by then, how many skeletons had we had? So Tongue Lash was pretty cool. Yeah.
How about you, Adam?
King Hiss for me. They're all the guys are Chef Kiss, but King Hiss.
There we go. And you, Thunder from Down Under.
Well, King Hiss, that's 2 toys in one.
There you go. 2 for the price of 1. You cannot go wrong.
No, sir.
Okay. Moving along. So as I said, this is a big wave, much bigger than I had thought. So you've also got a few of the Horde here as well. So you got Hurricane, Hordak, the Horde Trooper, Dragstore, and Multibot.
There he is.
Oh, the elusive Multibot.
Yeah. You want to nab him. I think Dragstore is the only one out of this lot that I have. I don't have the pulley cord for him, unfortunately, but he's a pretty cool figure. He's very hefty. There's a lot.
You could knock someone out with Dragstore.
Yeah. He's a cool figure.
I was wanting to race Dragstore versus the Road Ripper and just see which one.
Have a speed race. There's a video in the making there, Adam.
Oh yeah.
You did a race competition in one of your videos, right? I remember.
Yeah, I did, and the battle ram didn't even make it down the track.
Didn't make it to the finish.
I chose the turtle wagon.
Yeah. And I think you lost first round to the Fisher Price camera back when.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Never mind. Vroom vroom.
Is it strange strange figure though, dragstore, wasn't it? Really, it was a strange. Just put it down, and off it went. You know, it's a strange figure.
Yeah,
what else can we do? Right? What else can we got to do?
Yeah, they're running out of ideas now. Yeah. And Hurricane Hordak. Did you say you've got this one, Adam, or this is?
That was the one I picked up on the weekend, right there.
Oh, that's the one you got. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
He needs a flesh hand.
They don't all need a flesh hand, Rob Vegas. Speaking of flesh hands, though, love the slime pit. Love it.
Great.
TJC, I don't know if I saw you before. Good to see you, buddy.
That was a cool little place at the slime pit. I thought that was great.
That had the Horde branding on it too, did it?
It had black space on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So this is all the Mantisaur and the Monstroid as well. I think were all Horde sort of figures too, characters.
Yes. Both the Mantisaur and the Monstroid are going to be upcoming videos later this summer that I'm going to post.
Oh, nice. They're hugely expensive. I've seen a couple advertised in Japan, the vintage ones, and they're really, really pricey over here anyway. Yeah. Have you got much of this vintage stuff, Shabby, or you pretty much?
I've got quite a bit of it, but not a lot of it.
Right.
I did like the Horde Trooper, you know, when you smacked him and the sides came off, and do you know what I mean? That was a cool figure.
Yeah.
I love like area dialect because I have quite a bit of it, but not a lot. And in Canada, those both mean exactly the same thing.
Yeah. And then Wave 6, Eternia.
So cool.
The big boy, I again, no idea that Eternia came out in Wave 6. So Eternia was not something I was even aware of again as a kid. I had no idea Eternia was a playset. I only knew of Castle Grayskull, really. So
that's all you needed, really.
The lads at Keep On Collecting did a great video on the Blaster Hawk. That was when he found that when Matt got the Blaster Hawk. Awesome video.
Yeah, that is a cracking video. Yeah.
I just picked one up. It has everything except for the radar dish on it. So
so cool.
It is so big, though.
Yeah. And did you watch Scuba when he had the vintage Eternia playset and he broke the rail?
Yes.
We were talking about it last night. It was the gasp heard around the world. I think everyone. You know what I mean? So,
My blood pressure went through the roof when I was watching that because I knew something was going to snap. I was like, oh my God.
And the funniest thing is, he edits it and he goes like, oh, well, this or that. And I said to my wife, there's no way he went, oh, well. There's no way on earth.
Yeah. No, I think it's neat that there's the Jet Sled, the Mega Laser, and the Stilt Stalkers, because that was going to be the original thing with He-Man. Was each harness he had gave him different powers and different weapons, and so I think these are concepts that were early in the line that came out much later. But that although those blue vests that came with them, that was going to be his whole thing. Was he was going to have a different harness for every weapon or power he had.
Yep. All right. I don't know what happened to our little screen there, but
I was trying to share Adam's Go Figure pictures, but it didn't work.
Okay.
For his Rio Blast.
Oh, his Rio Blast video?
No, well, yeah, he sent me the pictures. I'll just show them on the screen. Look.
Oh, yeah, I'll bring it up. Hang on.
We can do it old school. I've just sketched it. Oh, that looks all right. All right, so that's yeah. So he's got his little gunnies on there. One moment, please. Technology. Look at that.
Oh, magnificent.
Shotguns. Shotgun. Bang! Where'd you put that thing? I want to know. Yeah. That's where it goes.
Yeah, so that's where all the weapons go. He made his backpack into a weapon rack.
Yeah.
Was that one of your harder projects to do, Adam? Was that complicated, more complicated than other ones? I'll bring you up again.
It was a big endeavor. It was a big endeavor to get like the shin covers to work, and then the back clip to get it to fix in properly. There was a lot of and there's Hazel. there's a lot of engineering that went more engineering than I was used to, because I used to like make one piece, and so that was like 7 pieces that had to work in conjunction with a thing that was already existing. But it was fun. That was it was big, but it was fun to figure that out. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. And so I think that was one of my most anticipated videos to just get done and see what people thought. It's because in the YouTube space, you can go for the clicks, right? You can say like, we're going to talk about the latest He Skeletor, and we're going to review it, unbox it, and you'll get all kinds of clicks because those people do. I was like, I'd rather fix a Rio Blast and then see who loves Rio Blast out there.
There we go. All right, excellent. And to round off the wave, look at these monstrosities. The
Can we try and pick a favorite?
Oh God, just the names of them are hilarious. Yeah, they are wacky as. I don't have any of these, to be perfectly honest, and I don't really have much of a desire to get any. But yeah, they just don't seem to fit in at all. I don't know what they were thinking, or were they just thinking
they were thinking kids will buy anything.
Look, I'm a sucker for a gorilla, so I kind of want Gorilla.
Comet Troid looks like the sidekick to Stinkor.
I hate him already.
I'd go Dinosaur.
Tiger. Just the name Tiger. Tiger.
Yeah.
Actually, Astro Lion looks like the weaker Setron in Transformers, kind of. Steeljaw. Kind of reminiscent. Are they? How big? I don't even know the size of these things.
The size of the egg.
Okay, egg.
Only little.
Silly question.
Yeah, no, they're silly toys, so silly questions are allowed.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you're gonna get sucked into it now, Phil. You're gonna want them all.
Yeah.
You can't have.
You gotta go and find the local ones. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You're saying there the Japanese have got a variety of different things which are similar to this. Yeah.
Gorilla looks like he just won, like he just beat Creed in a boxing match.
You know what it is? He's looked at the rest of them and he's like, no, I'm out. He's like, nope, I'm out. He's walking up.
He would look great in your upcoming boxing series, Zazel.
Oh yeah, maybe
he could fight the winner of Big Boa and who's Big Boa? Yeah, Boa. Yeah.
I'll just throw this comment back up so you can do your appropriate thank yous before I butt in and start talking about how Gorilla's walking off screen.
No, you're a legend, Matt. Love you, buddy. Thank you very much. Awesome. Jeff is not a fan.
No toys.
Yeah,
they do look like old Happy Meal toys, right? That's what they look like.
Yeah. It was like, imagine if your mum goes, "Oh, I got you a He-Man toy." Yeah, because my mum never called them Masters of the Universe; she'd call them He-Mans. I got you a He-Man. I was like, yeah. And she's like, "Here you go, Gorilla."
Oh, Retro Ticker loved his Dinosaur.
There we go. So a bit of an unusual way to tie up Wave 6 with these guys here. So
yeah,
an interesting wave. Wave 6, a massive wave. I think I counted sort of 13 figures of the heroic and evil warriors plus the horde, and then plenty of vehicles and play sets in these things as well. So I think Wave 7, obviously the last wave, is massively smaller than this, right? They basically crashed. Maybe this wave wasn't popular, or
well, I think this wave is the real beauty of MOTU back in the day was that they were just trying stuff, right? They were like, let's try something, and we never see any toy company today just try something. It's always like so calculated. It's so like spreadsheeted, and there's analytics, and then they make the decision, as opposed to trying something and letting magic happen. Because honestly, He-Man and Skeletor, that concept was them trying something and just pure magic happened. And we haven't seen that in years.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Yeah, you can't fault them for not trying. And a few ideas here. There may be that they were a bit of a crossover. These last figures here, a bit of a crossover from other lines as well.
Well, it's funny you should say that because when Origins came back, the first thing I was thinking of was, I wonder if they'll do the dinosaurs. I wonder if they'll do the giants. I wonder if they'll. You see what I mean? Because, and again, going back to what you've just said, something different than just 6-inch figures or 3 feet quarters.
I think the giants would be perfect for Mattel Creations. That's got to be that's got to be where those exist. And if we don't get them, they've really dropped the ball. They've dropped the meteor.
Well,
I've dropped the egg
on the exclusive camo card. You open it up, and they're actually the giants are on that card. So I was like, that's the first thing I noticed. I thought, oh, please, if that'd be awesome if they did that. But again, I agree with what you say. That's got to be a Creations. I can't see that being retail. So
no, but Creations, I think it would be one of those things that sells out in minutes. Right? They'd have no. I don't buy any Origin stuff. I'd be tempted for the giants.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, where was it? I think the only place you could find them was Italy, wasn't it? That was it. So they're very sought after. So
and I don't know many Italians, so it's hard to find them.
Hey guys, speaking of the Origin stuff, a bit of news. Did you guys see the artwork for the box art for the new Snake Mountain? This is the vintage box, obviously, and the Origins one is here. It's quite different, and I think it looks awesome. It looks the
best thing about the Origins Snake Mountain is with this little idea that they came up with here.
Yeah.
Where they got that idea from?
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder.
But the Bone Throne, that's the way to go.
They're watching us. They must be.
Hi, Mattel.
Guys, I need to head out because I got to drop off my kids at school. But this has been the best 9 minutes of my week so far. And that includes me getting my passport. So you guys are legends.
Oh, yeah.
And we are going to look forward to hanging out again. Shabby, it has been just a genuine pleasure getting to know you. And hopefully we'll be hanging out soon. I got a figure for you at the Joe Fest.
Thank you. It's been awesome meeting you too. Thank you.
Have a good one, Adam. We will see you soon, buddy.
Good journey.
See you, mate. All right. So I'll bring up the Snake Mountain again. Has this been? Have you guys? This is up for pre-order, right? Or is that already been wrapped up?
It came up on Amazon a few days before. Scuba messaged me and said, "Shabby, it's on Amazon now." And I said, "What?" So I went on it and it's pre-ordered. Got it. Cannot wait.
Yeah, you're right. The artwork looks unbelievable.
It's on Big Bad Toy Store now as well, and I think it was on Mattel Creations and sold out already.
But to do that at $80. I mean, it's just unheard of. It's just unheard of to do it. I mean, we all thought that when Grayskull came out at 75. This at 80, I mean, it ticks all the boxes. It really does.
Yeah. G'day, G-Force.
Hey,
my friend. Welcome.
How are you, buddy?
Yeah, that seems very reasonably priced, eh? I saw the price as well in the US stores, and I was like, man, I'm so tempted. Obviously, it would cost a bit to get it. I guess it would cost a bit extra to get it sent over to me in Japan. But yeah, Snake Mountain is not one I ever had as a kid either. So this would really fill a gap very nicely if I was able to get my hands on it.
This is what I love about Masters of the Universe. It's an excess. I've always been a toy collector that I think should be available to everyone, regardless of a price point. Right. I don't care whether you've got a toy room like I have or you've got a small shelf full of stuff. It should be accessible. You should be able to get it. So to get this sort of thing at $17 for the figures, $80 for I mean, I understand Attorney was a little bit more, but again, Attorney's one of those things if you wanted it or not. But this is it's superb for me. This it really.
I would have liked it to have come with a figure though, like Castle Grayskull did. Just
that would have been cool.
I can't think of anyone in particular, except for maybe because we got a white version of the Sorceress, so maybe I don't know. I mean, Skeletor in some fashion, something that we wouldn't ordinarily get. So maybe a slimed Skeletor, and I know, for when the Snake Men come and take over, he gets slimed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. What do I know?
Well, one of Adam's originals. Let's get him hooked up with the Snake Mountain here. He's produced a couple of the Skeletals for us on MOTUesday. So,
put winter.
Yeah, the artwork just is phenomenal. I could stare at that all day. I can see my man Webstore is there. Webstore as well, hanging around. So, yeah. So when's that going to be? When will that actually arrive?
It says the fall, but Amazon Prime, Amazon said it's August, so fingers crossed. But
there we go. Yeah. Have you gone for this one, Zazel, or?
Yeah, I saw it pop up on Amazon too, and like a total shill for Masters of the Universe Origins. I was like, buy.
Yeah. Nice one.
But then you can get it on Big Bad Toy Store, no money down. You can just pre-order it. Doesn't cost you anything today. And then later on, you'll be like, oh, damn, where'd my money go? And realize it was Snake Mountain.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It would have been cool.
Yeah. Like, I still think Castle Grayskull should have come with the armor instead of having to get that off of Mattel Creations, a spacesuit. I think that should have, because my Castle Grayskull is naked without it. So something similar for Snake Mountain, like just anything. Like, you know what would actually really be cool? If it came with an action figure version of whatever face that is on Snake Mountain, that would be cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and they've done that before. I mean, Frogmonger was in the thing in Grayskull. They've made that figure. They've made the armor from Grayskull. So, yeah, that would have been perfect. Or maybe the wolf. If you did the wolf, that was the microphone.
Yeah, cool. That too. Just something. Right. Give it something.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll come at a later point. Who knows?
Well, yeah, probably. But that's just like a typical adult collector. I'm like, I want more. This is great, but I want more.
Out of curiosity, Shabby, did you go in for the Eternia as well, or?
Well, I was very, very lucky. I was looking at Eternia, and I just thought, wow, man, with 4 kids, $650 is a lot. Yeah. My twin brother and Scuba Pete got it for me, so I'm getting it. So
brilliant!
Behind my back and said it, but then obviously, you know, Si's in England, and so Si said, I can't do this because it will cost me twice as much money to get it to England. So they told me. So Si paid, and then Scuba chipped in a bit, and I thought, wow. So yeah, I'll be getting Eternia, which
brilliant
blows me away. That does. The only thing about that confused me was the thing with the King Grayskull figure. If you ordered it that week, you got a King Grayskull, and after that, you didn't get it. And I thought, yeah, but for $650, I would have done. I would have. And then they said, didn't they? They turned around on that live stream and said, if we get to 10,000, everybody gets one. And I thought, well, can't really do that. I'd give everybody one anyway. You know, it's
brilliant.
But yeah, I can't wait.
Well, we've come up to the 90-minute mark, and the time's flown for me. It's been such a great chat, and great getting to know you a bit more, Shabby, and your Motu love and that sort of thing. And Shabby, I think you've got a special stream coming up soon, is it? You do a stream on Friday nights with a couple of your buddies, right? And you've got a 100th episode coming up. Is it? Are you sitting on 99 at the moment?
Roland's Reviews, Tez, and I do it with Matt, 0-100 Toys, and this is our 100th show. So we've been doing it. We were on another live stream before that. So me, Matt, and Ted have been together for about 3.5 years, and every Friday we get together and we do a show. And this Friday's our 100th. So everyone's invited. I think it's going to be a busy night. We're going to get everybody to come on, share your favorite things about USR. And so if you know, you're more than welcome, both of you, and Adam, you know, more than welcome to come on and say hello. So.
Awesome stuff. Yeah. So 100 episodes. That's we're a little way off that, Zazel. We're up to 8.
That's so close when you think about it. It's only 92 more to go. What are you talking about?
Only 92 to go.
Yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there.
Awesome. It's been awesome having you, Shabby. Anything else that you've got coming up on your own channel? Any other projects, videos that you'd like to tell us about?
Yeah, Holo Chronicles, Andy at Holo Chronicles sent me an original Skywarp with all the accessories. And
nice.
So what I did was I went out and I'm not a really Transformers. I love all the 86 Transformers, so I buy as many as them, you know, from the movie. The movie meant a big deal to me as a kid. And I found this one, the new retro one of Starscream. So I'm going to do a video of putting the old school with the new school, because this feels very, very light. It doesn't feel like it's full of die.
Okay. Right.
Is there a figure
not
in
an empty box, is it?
That's what I've got. And then Playmobil, I've got the big, I always wanted it for years, the Scooby-Doo Haunted Mansion, and it's a huge thing. And I got that for Christmas off my wife, and so I'll be making a video of that. And then we got Hypno, so we'll be making a video on that, and obviously opening and I've got Snake Teela coming today, so she'll be
cool.
So yeah.
So we'll be seeing a bit more of Lucy shortly on your videos.
Yeah,
awesome
I can't wait. Yeah, if I did a MOTU video without Lucy, I'd get my legs broke.
Excellent. All right, Zazel, how about you, buddy? What's coming up in the next few days for you, or the next week or so?
Well, I've got a premiere happening on Tuesday night, Titans, but it'll be Wednesday morning for us. So it'll be Tuesday nights for everyone else. A bit of classic Sarge happening on a little bit of an interview there, and a look at Camp Cobra. So check that out. I'm trying to think. Oh, this weekend is the members live stream, the games night. So that's happening this weekend. Time to be determined. I will set up all of that information probably tomorrow and put it out there to see who's interested in joining in on the games night this weekend. All you have to do is be a channel member or a Patreon supporter, and you're in. You're in. Oh, and don't forget, we do have an incoming transmission for today's episode from Space Commander. So don't forget to play that one on the way out.
Yeah, so everyone stay tuned to the end to see Space Commander's little outro. Awesome stuff. Well, thank you again, Shabby. It's been brilliant, and thanks for getting up early in the morning and joining us for MOTUesday. And it's just been brilliant having a chat with you, and awesome to see everyone in the chat as well. It's been got a lot of good faces, a lot of loyal MOTUesday supporters coming along. So that's awesome to see.
Awesome. Yeah.
I believe the next MOTUesday will be hosted by Adam at Go Figure. So it's Adam's turn. So date
is
to
that
be.
Adam's channel's called Go Figure? His actual channel's called Go Figure, right?
He's Go Figure. Yep. Definitely worth checking out. So that'll be possibly next week, maybe in a couple of weeks' time. We'll have to figure that out.
Go figure it out.
Go figure it out. There we go. Boom, boom, ching. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your night if you're watching in Australia or Japan. I'm probably the only one watching in Japan, but I will enjoy the rest of my evening. Yep. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. So I will bring up am I going to play? Sorry, Zazel. Am I going to play the outro music first and then Space Commander? I've got to get this around the right way.
No, we'll go the Rio Blast and then the outro. Just so that's right. That's the order I would do it in.
Okay, gotcha. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.
Tonight we had a look at Rio Blast, a character plucked straight out of the Wild West. Sometimes collecting vintage toys can be a bit like the Wild West, but don't let outlaws and bandits rob you blind. There are bargains to be had, so set a reasonable boundary. Don't break the bank on that prized action figure. So long!
Space Commander.
Champion. See you guys.